When I was a child in the 1970s, I lived in a neighborhood called Coventry Gardens in Livonia. It was about 10 miles west of Detroit, Michigan, near the Canadian border. I recently went on Google and found photos of the old neighborhood. Now here shows the house where I lived on Surrey Street. And it hasn't changed much in the last 35 years, that house. Some of the painting is a little bit different on the outside. The red brick is about the same. It doesn't look much different. In fact, I get a bit homesick just looking at it. I visited that area about 20 years ago and haven't been back since. But that was a house where I pretty much grew up during those years. Now, let's take a look at the neighborhood. Alright, see where that pink arrow is, my cursor. That's where I lived on Surrey Street. Go over here to funeral home parking lot, right by it, my cursor. And this is Farmington Road. Yes. Go down here. This is not much of a distance. Very easy to walk. This white building here, where my cursor is, that was Bates Hamburger Shop. I mean, yeah, they sold hamburgers, French fries, soft drinks, things like that. Oh, and it was such a specialty in this neighborhood, Coventry Gardens. It seemed like everybody loved to go there. The burgers were so greasy and delicious, and people could choose whether to sit where they could look at 5 Mile Road or whether to look at Farmington Road. Yeah, it was really great. Sometimes outsiders would come into the neighborhood just to go to Bates. And generally, it was okay for outsiders to come in so long as they didn't stay too long. No, really, it was pretty cool. Yes. Now I shall show you the route that I would take when I would walk to school. Alright. Start here at the pink arrow at my place. Come out here to the straight Surrey Street. Just follow the cursor. Get onto Roycroft Street, right here. Take Roycroft Street. Past Eddington Street, right here at the cursor. And I had some friends down in this area, but that's not the way I'd go to school. I would keep right on Roycroft Street. Keep heading this way, show you a bit closer. And you pass Stamford Street. Keep on going. Of course, during winter time, a lot of this was just absolutely covered in snow and ice. And sometimes we would drive instead of having to walk. Generally, I'd walk home, not so much walk there. But anyway, Roycroft Street. Take up to Norwich Street, right here at the cursor. I had friends that lived over here on Norwich Street, but to go to school, you just keep on going on Roycroft Street. Wow, okay. Roycroft Street. Then you get to this corner here. Roycroft hits Southampton. Got a little juncture. Continue on Southampton, although it seems like just continue on Roycroft Street, but it's a change of name. It's Southampton at that point. And that hits Lemoyne Street. Lemoyne Street. And that gets you to Ashurst Street. This right here. They don't have it labeled at that part, but then I had a friend that lived right in here. He and I are not friends anymore, but I used to go over to his place all the time, and he'd come over to my place. We had a lot of fun. Okay. So, and then the school was like right here where my cursor is, but the school isn't there anymore. They took it down and built houses going right into this other subdivision called Coventry West. Okay, now I'll show you something else. Southampton Street. Take that past Rayburn. Over near somewhere, I forget which house it is, but it's where my Cub Scout group would have their meetings. Our group was called the Weebelows, Will Be Loyal Scouts. and it was like in between the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts. We had meetings over in there somewhere. Probably, maybe that house? I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of rural right in here, but it's not really rural. You could go, because it just goes maybe a few hundred yards or so till you get to another subdivision, like out of there. So it's not really rural, but it had kind of a countryside look to it. You could go hiking around there. This is still Southampton Court. You could even get lost, or at least kids could, out there, right up that area. And of course, when it was covered in snow during winter time, it really looked quite nice. Quite nice. Sometimes I ride the motorbike around out there. There's Oakdale Street, yeah. See, right out here goes the woods. You just keep going north in those woods, you get to a subdivision called Burton Hollow. Burton Hollow. Number 3. I'm just going to take you out. As you can probably tell, we're headed back toward where I lived. Down here. Right here is the... Is that the park? Yeah, no, I haven't quite got to the... Sometimes I forget, after all these years, exactly where... Even though I've been looking at it the last couple weeks. Okay, right in there. It's where we'd have the park. Tennis court. This looks like where we had the bonfire, or the neighborhood had the bonfire. Right here at the cursor is. That surely is the tennis court over here. And then a lot of times go out in this little foresty area. Myrna Street, Oxford Court. Yeah. And Rayburn Street. Here's Surrey Street. Now, if you remember correctly, Surrey Street is the one which I live on. I live on that. Yeah. Yeah, we come right here back to the arrow where I live. Right across... Now, this house was not there when I was living here. This one. There was a house there, but somebody tore it down, put up a new house. The new house looks a lot better than the other one does. I kind of wish this house had been there when I was living there, but it wasn't. And then this house here, yeah, I had a friend that lived right in this house. He was about 2 years younger than I was. Yeah, we were pretty good friends. But one day, he got angry at me for some reason, so he picked up a golf club and he hit me in the ankle with it. Boy, and that hurt. Now, he is lucky that I was not able to get up and pound his ass. I mean, really. I'm not going to say the guy's name, though. I mean, he and I sort of became friends again afterward. I'm surprised that I could forgive him for what he did. Yeah. Hit me with that ankle. And of course, there's that funeral parlor again I told you about. When I was really young, my mom would tell me that there was a creature called Bloody Bones that lived by this funeral parlor right behind us, you see. There's a way to kind of keep me in at night so I wouldn't be roaming around in the backyard. But anyway, this backyard section was neat because a lot of times I ride motorbike and stuff like that out there. Yeah, too bad. What else about this neighborhood? I still have a little bit of time left. Now, this part here is not really part of the neighborhood. That's the main highway, 5 Mile Road. And if you take 5 Mile Road and keep going east on it, I guess it'd be about 10 miles, and you get into Motor City, get into Detroit. Yeah, Eddington Street. Yeah, I had some friends that lived on there. I think they lived like right in here, where my cursor is, right in here somewhere. They moved away. They moved out of that neighborhood about the same time my parents and I moved out. Although, I think they moved out a bit earlier. I still see them, but not in that neighborhood. So long.